Major NIL news: a bombshell lawsuit filed this morning. We're going to break down the complaint, but the suit was filed by 6 former FSU men's basketball players who allege their former coach promised them $250,000 each. And I say bombshell because this lawsuit could lead to major consequences and implications of NIL moving forward. 20-page complaint is packed with some pretty jarring allegations, so let's dive in. 2 quick things I want to note. One is that the plaintiffs are represented by Darren Heitner. Darren is a well-known sports lawyer and industry leader. He's hoping the lawsuit can lead to less athletes being taken advantage of. Mentioned this all could have been resolved without litigation and that he tried to. Finally, a complaint tells one side of the story, not saying any of the allegations are accurate or not. The other side will have a chance to respond and defend itself because that's how the legal system works. And now for the complaint. Starts by setting out under the guise of NIL deals, players were promised compensation. Specifically, Hamilton told his players and their families that money would be coming from his business partners. Coach allegedly promised each player $250,000 to play for his team. I'm gonna stop saying allegedly, this is all allegedly. Whether new recruit, transfer, or retaining old players, players got fed up and boycotted a practice right before their Duke game. They were also ready to not play in the actual game itself. Coach found out, he brought everyone in, promised that the $250K would hit their banks the next week. Under the party section, the lawsuit talks about each of the 6 former players. Some of them graduated, others play for other schools now. And then the complaint goes into the details and brings out the text messages, saying that coach told one player and his father $250,000 at least. More text messages and promises for that $250,000 to play. Complaint also includes someone who got caught up in the middle of all this. They worked for Rising Spear, which is FSU's NIL collective. He was trying to empathize with players, but also wanted to make sure they focused on winning. Mentioned that coach wasn't getting back to him either. Apparently coach wouldn't text about any of this, didn't want it in writing, so he would only resort to phone calls. It got to a point where players needed to get paid. They had rent and car payments due. They had to pay taxes and still weren't getting the money they were promised. This led to the 4-count lawsuit being filed for breach of contract, promissory estoppel, fraudulent inducement and misrepresentation, and negligent misrepresentations. Not only are the players asking for the money that they were promised, punitive damages to prevent this from ever happening again. Just based on the complaint, this is a serious, unfortunate, and unfair situation for these athletes. We need more facts and for coach to respond, but situations like this just can't be happening. Appreciate you sticking out the whole breakdown. Let me know your thoughts on this situation.